everyone! Today we're going to be testing out a new palette. Not that we haven't been doing that a lot lately, but I have another one here, and this is the Glamlite Taco palette. I wasn't going to get this, but after I tried the pizza palette and I was so impressed by it, I was like, actually, you know, it was the burger palette. After I tried the burger palette, I was so impressed and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to get the taco palette as well. So if you haven't seen this, this is what it looks like. So I mean, it looks like a taco, which is pretty funny. So inside, this is the color story, and I think this is just so cute and so fun. It also has a nice mirror here, and I really like that you can flip the packaging all the way back. It makes it so much easier to hold and so much easier to just like store and travel with, and you know, all that stuff. It's just a very like nice, convenient palette. It's not too bulky, and I like that given that it's like a different kind of shaped palette. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna first go ahead and swatch this palette like we always do, and then we're gonna do a look with it, and then I will let you know my thoughts on it. And this is of course not going to be a review, it's just a first impression, and I will most likely get around to doing, you know, more looks with this in the future, as well as a more in-depth review, but today is just going to be a first impression. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch from left to right, top to bottom, and then I will show you some close-ups, and then we can get into putting these on my eyes. Okay, wow, so just as with the burger palette, this palette swatches absolutely beautifully. I didn't even have to dip into any of these colors more than once to get these swatches, and I'm really excited about this, honestly. I'm so happy with the formula of Glamlite so far from what I've tried, so I can't wait to put some of these on my eyeballs now. I'm gonna start by priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot as always. And I forgot to mention, if you want to know more information about this palette, I will just leave it linked down below, because I don't really go into depth in my first impression videos, because I prefer to just focus on the performance on the palette and not so much about the facts about the brand and the palette and stuff like that. So if you are curious and want to know more about this, I will just leave the link down below in the description box. And also, if you've been wondering why I haven't been posting a lot lately and you haven't been following me on Instagram and my community page, I'll do a get ready with me probably tomorrow, just like talking about all that stuff. I don't want to bring this into a, you know, first impression video and stuff like that, because I prefer to just keep these kind of professional, if you will. So just expect there to be a video on that in the next couple of days. I don't know when that is going to be, but hopefully soon. So I think where I'm going with this today is I want to do something kind of like pinky purple orange on the top, and then maybe like a pop of green on the lower lash line. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Also, before I forget, I'm actually wearing this shade right here as my highlighter today. This is onion, so I mean, I'm wearing onions on my face. That's a bit weird to say, but it's beautiful as a highlighter. It's like the perfect highlighter for me. So I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna first dip into pickled carrots. I just love the names in these. So I'm gonna put pickled carrots in my crease. And I'm expecting this to pull kind of pink, because in my swatch it definitely looked a lot more pink, so it's like this one right here. So I think we should be okay putting this in here and not expecting it to be red, even though it looks red in the palette. So I'm just going to be putting that in my whole crease now as my transition shade. And these mattes are just so nice and creamy. That applied so beautifully and so easily. I almost think that Glamlite is one of my favorite matte formulas that I've tried in a long time. I can't really say it's my favorite yet, because I've only really used their formula like 3 times now, but the times I've tried it, I've just been so impressed. So I was definitely right in this, leaning a bit more on the pink side, which is exactly what I wanted, so that was perfect. So to deepen this up, I'm gonna go into Red Cabbage, which is the purple shade, and I'm gonna be putting that in my outer corner, as well as pulling it into my crease as well. And we'll see how this goes. I mean, purples are always a bit tricky, so I never know what to expect when using a new purple. So we're just gonna have to see how this goes. So I'm mainly just packing it onto my outer corner first before I go in and start blending and pulling this through here. So this is actually building so beautifully. I'm very impressed. I find that as long as I pack on the color, actually like stays on my eye, which is awesome because that does not always happen with purples. It does take a bit of building up, which is fine, but as long as it builds, I don't really mind that at all. I think this is looking so beautiful and it's so easy to blend out, easy to work with. Also just gonna go ahead and dip back into pickled carrots and just bring this color back a little bit more. And also just help with the blend. Not that the blend really needs it, but I just want to bring back that pink a bit more. So I'm realizing I haven't even brushed my hair today. I probably should have done that, but I'm not the kind of YouTuber who's just like perfect on camera every day, really ever, so I'm sorry about that. But I think what I'm gonna do next is, did I actually just apologize for something? I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. I never apologize. I'm actually not sorry at all that I haven't brushed my hair. So what I'm gonna do next is I think I'm gonna first start off by taking radishes, and I'm going to put that on the outer part of my lid here, kind of just above where I put down that purple. And then I think I'm going to transition into possibly this shadow right here, which is called Al Pastor. I don't know what that means. Al Pastor? I don't know. And then I'll probably go into Pico de Gallo after. So let's just start off taking radishes. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this just because I like spraying my shadows and I just always do, but I'm sure you could use these without spraying them as well because they felt like the kind of shadows that would look really good not being sprayed from, you know, just swatching them. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this on the outer corner here. So I mean, this layers so beautifully on top of that purple. That looks really nice. And then like I said, next I'm gonna dip into Al Pastor. I feel like I'm supposed to know what that means, but I don't. And I'm gonna place that in the middle of my eye here. Not in the middle of my actual eye, but just in the middle of my lid. You know what I mean. So I'm not as impressed with this shadow. I feel like it's almost starting to get hard pan. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's almost got like a little bit of a layer on top of it here. And it's just not as vibrant as that other shimmer. I feel like it could just be a different formula as well. I'm not really sure, but I definitely prefer the purple. So this one, I guess the one I used now was this one. So you can tell it's not really like the most metallic. These two right here are definitely, this one as well is also a different formula. So there's a couple of different shimmer formulas in here, and the one that I just used is definitely not my favorite. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into Pico de Gallo, and I'm going to put that in the inner portion of my lid now. Still just using my same brush. This is my MAC 242 brush. I love this for shimmers. And this one is beautiful. Just going to meet that up with the pink and blend them in together. Now, I do think this would have looked better if I had done a cut crease, but I've said this before, but I just prefer not to do cut creases in my first impressions, just so I can see how opaque the shimmers are and stuff like that, and how they layer on top of the mattes in the crease, because I don't really do cut creases that often unless I'm going for a certain kind of look. So I think this is looking quite pretty. So what I'm gonna do next is, I think for my lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with Lime, which is this color right here, and then I'm probably gonna go in and blend that out with Guacamole, and then maybe put some gold in my inner corner or something like that. First, just gonna take the darkest green on a smudging brush here and just really place that close to the lower lash line. And taking the lighter green shade, which is called Guacamole, and I'm just going to be using this to blend out that dark green, and just use this to also buff out the lower lash line a bit. So there's definitely some kick up in the palette. It's not a lot, and honestly I don't really care about kick up as long as it doesn't end up on my face. So yeah, these just performed so beautifully. I'm honestly so impressed by this palette as well. So just to finish off, I'm gonna go in with Mexican cheese, and I'm gonna put that into my inner corner. That is so beautiful. Oh my god. I swear, inner corner highlight just makes such a big difference in every single look, in my opinion. I just feel like it really brightens up a look. And you can really change it up too, depending on what color you put there. I think the color story in this palette is so fun too. It's not what I would have put together if I were to make my own taco palette, but I feel like as a color story, it just works really well. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my eyes, and I'm gonna put Teaspoon by Colourpop in my waterline, which is just a green, and then I'm gonna put something on my lips. So I'll come back and then we can talk a little bit more about this palette. So I will be right back. Alright, so this is the completed look. I love how this turned out. For lips, I decided to go with a Makeup Forever Orange Color Pencil. I always forget what these are called. It's called the Artist Color Pencil. This is in the shade Any Tangerine, and then on top of that I used my Anna Sue lipstick in the shade F402, and it's just a beautiful orange, and I thought that would look really good with the lid. So yeah, that is going to be the completed look with the Taco palette. Now, as for my first impression, I really like this. I think the matte formula in these palettes are so good. They are so easy to work with. They blend beautifully, they build nicely. There are a couple of different shimmer formulas in this. I haven't really like made up my mind about all of them yet, but I will say that I definitely prefer like the more foiled ones. Like these two right here are beautiful. The purple is beautiful. This orange is beautiful. This one was a little bit more kind of satiny, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it does kind of look like it's got a little bit of hard pan, like in this lighting right here. So that's like the only drawback really, but it doesn't really bother me too much if shadows do get hard pan, to be honest, because I never go through my shadows, so if I have to get through the top layer of a shadow, it's not really that big of a deal. I don't feel like I am wasting too much product doing that, but obviously it's kind of an inconvenience and it's not really something that you want happening to your shadows, so a little bit of a drawback, but I mean, other than that, everything worked so well, and so far I am so impressed by Glamlite as a brand, so I can't wait to do more with this palette. I'm just looking at the back here, this is warning, do not eat. So yeah, I just think this brand is so fun, and I can't wait to try out more things from them. I can't wait to play more with the stuff that I already have. So yeah, let me know if you are intrigued by this brand. Let me know if you try this brand. What do you think of this palette? What do you think of like food themed palettes in general? Like, I think they're kind of fun. I think they're just like, I don't know. It's a nice change from like the wheat themed palettes and like the vagina palette or whatever that came out like not that long ago. It's just like, those things are stupid, but this is just like, it's harmless. It's just a taco palette, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing offensive about having a taco palette. It's just good fun. So I really enjoy that about the brand, and I really enjoy the color stories that they come up with. I really enjoy their formula. So yeah, so far I am very impressed, and I will also give the taco palette my stamp of approval after trying it one time, but again, it's just a first impression, so I'm still gonna have to play with it more to really form a opinion on it, but so far I really like it, and I am very happy I bought this. So that's going to sum up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!